Oh, hold on. I didn't do. There we go.
Kansas missing and unsolved. Kansas missing and unsolved. Kansas missing and unsolved. Kansas missing and unsolved.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Kmu Pod live podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chabruggi, up here in Salina, Kansas, and down there in Hugoton, Kansas is Derek Relaford. How you doing, Derek?
Pretty good, man. You like that new intro?
Pretty heavy intro. I like that.
Yeah,
going, what?
well, we never could figure out what the last one was saying at the end, so I decided to redo it, and then it inspired me to make a new video. So
That's cool.
Yeah, man. But I did forget to set it as the intro, so I will fix that before next week for sure.
Okay.
How you did a live? You didn't do a live stream. You did a pre-recorded video, and it uploaded in the wee hours of the morning. What? How'd that go down today, man? Without a producer, you figured it out. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. I figured out how to record it, and I tinkered with the editing a little bit on. Like I said, that was my third take. On the first one, I tinkered with the editing and decided to do the second take, and then I decided to do a third take because I just wasn't. I kept jumbling my words and stumbling over my words, and I was like, I got to get this right. So I just recorded it again and again until I finally got it the way I wanted it. But it is helping. It is helping. The GoFundMe's moving again, and I'm really grateful for that because, like I said, I want to get this thing going to where when I have the surgery on October 2nd, that the money will be there and I won't have to worry about anything through my recovery time. That will be set for that. So that's my plan. That's why I launched it as early as I did.
Yeah. Well, you were like 1,700 last time I checked it. I checked a few hours ago before I went down to Guyman to pick up some groceries. And then you have till October. Now tomorrow you went into it in your video, but of brief synopsis is your surgery is in October, but tomorrow you're going in for a procedure. What's going on with tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the heart catheter procedure at the hospital. I'll be there for probably 8 hours, or a little bit longer than that, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what it's for, other than to inject dye in me. I'm not sure if it's to look for blockages or what, but I'm assuming that's what it is. But I don't know for sure.
I don't know anything about it, but I think with the dyes, I'm assuming it's probably some type of, whenever they like some type of scan they're going to do to look at your heart, and they can kind of tell what's what and like where, because you said you had some leaky valves. So my guess is like they're going to, I don't know. It sounds like they're just going to like run some fluids in there and kind of see what exactly they're getting into. Cause I think they have a general idea what they're going to do with you, but until they kind of crack you open, they don't really know, what's going on until they see it.
Right. I mean, I've had an echocardiogram done. I've had a cardiac MRI done. I've had a CT scan done on my chest. I think I've had about all of it done.
I was talking to my buddy.
Done.
My buddy rode down to Guyman with me, and I was telling him about you. So you've had like these leaky valves your entire life, like you were born with a lot of these issues?
That's what the surgeon said. He said the leaky valve is probably something I was born with. I'm like, okay.
So I was telling him, like, I think that it's, like I'm being pretty hopeful about the whole thing. I think you're going to be fine. I think obviously people should donate and help you get through the time of recovery, but I'm very hopeful that you're going to be fine. But that being said, what was I going to say? I had a really good point. 1 second. Oh, nope, it's gone. I had a really good question for you, but it's gone. I spent too much time talking about it. Here's my point. I think that if you have had this defect your entire life, I think that once you're out of surgery and fully recovered, and like, they're going to try to get your butt up and moving quick after they crack you, so once you're up to like getting back to where they're kind of like, okay, now you're just a regular person again, and just we'll keep an eye on it. I'm wondering if you even know what it's like to feel healthy. I was telling my buddy, I was like, if he's had these leaks his whole life, there's a good chance that your version of healthy is actually not healthy. Like, what you might feel wonderful once they, get this stuff fixed in your chest. And there's a good, who knows, like you might have more energy. Like I'm not a doctor, I don't know anything, but my guess is if it's a defect, if they get it to where it's working like it's supposed to, I think you're going to feel a great deal better than normal. And I think maybe your normal might not have been that normal,
Right. I'm told that by several people that after it's done that I should feel better, should have more energy, and that kind of thing. So, and to what you were saying earlier, the surgeon told me that the day after surgery they're going to have me up and around and walking and moving, because they said what they're more concerned with than my heart after the surgery is my lungs, worrying about pneumonia setting in. So that's why they're going to get me up and moving and stuff like that. So yeah, it should be interesting.
Yeah. Well, we have the GoFundMe. We will put it at the bottom of the screen here in just a second. Shout out to Tammy Sue Coke. We have Ellen Dotson in the house. Dirt Roads and Main Streets, which is Norm, our good buddy. He might be filling in for Ricky if he's down for too long from these surgeries. Scott Messerschmidt is watching from Emporia. And Tammy says, my mom and my son have heart problems. Son had morphins and mom had congestive heart failure. Yeah, it's nothing you want to. I'm telling you, if your heart's had issues your whole life, I bet, I'm just guessing, once they get you fixed up, you're probably going to feel pretty good, man. I feel like that's got to.
What I'm thinking. Yeah, my ex-wife deals with congestive heart failure issues too. She has a defibrillator in her chest and everything too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The heart's crazy, man. Just beats your whole life. Just years and years and years of just never turning off. It's crazy. So, well, we got a lot of show to get to. We're going to get to it. If you have any cases you want us to feature, shout them out into the chat, and we can maybe squeeze them on tonight if we have time, and we will definitely get them on the next show. And I will be putting the GoFundMe at the bottom of the screen. Please throw a few bucks in that if you can to help Ricky out. You're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved. We'll be right back after this.
All right, we're going to kick it off with Lori Heimer tonight. Excuse me. And let's see, this is an unsolved homicide out of Assyria, Kansas, out here in southern Saline County, kind of southeast, I guess. Lori Heimer was stabbed to death in a rural Assyria, Kansas home on June 25th, 2016. Lori ran her business, Lori's Poodle Patch, from her home. Lori was a licensed breeder of miniature-sized poodles and was licensed through the state of Kansas. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation was contacted to assist Saline County sheriffs in the investigation. They responded with agents and their crime scene response team. During the investigation, 2 vehicles of interest were developed. Vehicle 1 was said to be an older flatbed pickup truck, possibly a Chevrolet, which is described as beat up, maroon in color, with a white front bumper, silver grille, and wide-style side mirrors. The driver was described as a man who was 50 years of age or older with salt and pepper hair. Vehicle 2 was an older style small pickup truck, possibly a Chevrolet S10, with a 2-tone paint job, dark blue along the bottom and the top with light blue down the middle, a silverback bumper, and a newer blue tailgate. It appeared to have minimal damage when compared to the body of the truck. The remainder of the vehicle is described as beat up and scratched up. There may have been 2 animal cages or crates in the back. The driver of this second vehicle was described as a white male, approximately 40 years of age, with shoulder-length hair and wearing glasses. Investigators said they would like to locate these 2 vehicles. They would also like to speak to anyone that had any contact or a business appointment with Lori at any time between June 20th and 25th of 2016. If you have any information regarding the homicide of Lori Heimer, please call the Saline County Sheriff's Office at 785-826-6500 or the KBI at 800-572-7463. There is a reward of $37,500 being offered for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Lori's murder. So let's see what we can do to get information in there to help get her murder solved and some justice for her family and friends.
Crime Stoppers is great. You can call them. They'll only ask for your name and information if you want any kind of reward associated with the reason you're calling. Also, if you notice the card there, Ricky was a part of the Kansas version of the cold case decks. that's pretty popular nationwide. It might even be outside of this country, but I know that a lot of states have decks of cards they give out to the inmates under the guise that inmates talk a lot, when they have a lot of downtime and they play a lot of cards,
Right.
and maybe it could spark conversations that could lead to people, maybe bragging or saying a little too much, and that information getting to where it needs to be. So both really great things, Crime Stoppers and those cold case decks, and those were a couple years back. I'm always hoping that they do another deck and Ricky can help out, but those are two really important things in the big machine of trying to solve unsolved cases and find missing people in the state of Kansas, for sure.
Right. And I see down there we have a comment from Mark Edward Baldwin, and he's talking about Anna Marie Baldwin, his sister's case. And I'm going to see during the course of the show if I can get a hold of her flyer real quick, and we'll try to cover that here after a bit. Working on it right now. So
with Lori, the really the time frame is husband sees her at 11 a.m. She's supposed to be somewhere at 5:30. They find her body at 7:30, and then the only thing that was she had the 5:30 appointment was to show a puppy to a potential buyer.
right.
So you probably don't know, Ricky, but and it's not something that they would say out loud, but I'm just thinking if they have that much information, they know that she was supposed to meet with somebody. I'm curious if that's just because she told her family and husband, hey, somebody's stopping by at 5:30 to see a puppy, or if it was a situation where to me, we're even back then, it wasn't that long ago, cell phones and there's just, I feel like there would be a digital footprint of somebody contacting her and saying, hey, I'm going to stop by at 5:30 to check out. I just don't see how there wouldn't be any digital footprint of at least who that person was that was supposed to be there. And again, say you find that person's name, that's not an indictment that they did something horrible to Lori, but just me as somebody looking at this situation, you have from 11 a.m. to 7:30 where she's found, and the only thing that was supposed to happen was this 5:30. So if anything, they're a potential witness. Did you go to the appointment? Did you get there and were things already crazy and you ran? To me, knowing who that 5:30 appointment is has to be very paramount, but I don't think it would be that hard to find out, considering I'm guessing they would have had to set up a meeting via email, text, some type of digital footprint, digital, situation.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of looking I'm trying to find Baldwin's flyer real quick. I think I just found it. Okay, I did.
Shout out to Ashley. Mark is in the house. Queenie is here.
And yep, so Queenie's here.
Yep. Nice. Interesting case. We've covered this one a few weeks in a row, and I think it's an important one to bring up because it's just with where this house is. Ricky took me to it. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Put it this way, it's so far out in the country that Ricky drove me there and I filmed it, and I couldn't get you there at all. I don't know how to get to that place. It was really a lot of twists and turns. So I just think that that's kind of odd to have a house out in the middle of nowhere and something this horrible happen, so that's always a little scary.
Right.
While Ricky's looking for that flyer, I'll go ahead and get the next one up on the screen. It's going to be Haley Davis, another one we've been covering for a little while. Crime Stoppers, is on the screen, and I don't think that there has been any updates. This is one I kind of been checking into. I don't think there's been any updates on this one.
Not that I have seen, no. I wish there was. All I know is that Wichita is heading up the case now instead of Salina Police Department. So that's been the biggest update, and that's been several months ago about the last one. But I mean, at least Wichita made a public appeal on their Facebook for information. That was I don't know that Salina Police ever did, but I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But anyways, Haley Davis missing from Salina, Kansas since July 21st, 2023. 19 when she went missing. She's now 21. 5'6" to 5'7", weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde, and she has blue eyes. She left Salina, Kansas with a male acquaintance to go to Wichita, Kansas. She was last active on her social media and last heard from on July 21st of 2023. Wichita police say that the investigation has led them to believe that Haley may be deceased. At the time of her disappearance, Haley was 19. She's now 21. She's 5'6" to 5'7" tall, weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde, and she has blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Haley's disappearance, so you know of her whereabouts or the location of her remains, please call Detective Owen at 316-268-4185, or you can email aowen@wichita.gov. To remain anonymous, you can call Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111, or KBI at 785-296-4017, or 1-800-572-7463. Or on that Crime Stoppers banner down there, there's that Crime Stoppers QR code. You can scan that. That will take you to a form on their website that you can fill your information out there and submit it that way. So I encourage anybody that has any information on Haley's case to get that in there as soon as they can.
Did you see the comment here? Matthew is talking about Anna Marie Baldwin, his sister. It's pretty high up.
Quick here. There's actually another one of the cold case playing card flyers too as well.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to, because I saw that comment and I asked the
Oops, wrong folder. There we go.
We will get that going right now.
Okay. It's coming up. Right.
Gotcha. Baldwin, Anna Baldwin.
Okay, I just dropped it in there. Yep, there she be. And this is another unsolved homicide from Topeka, Kansas. She was from Topeka, found in Osage County, Kansas. Anna Marie Baldwin's skeletal remains were found by a park ranger just north of the Melbourne Lake in Osage County on August 25th, 2017, near the lake's Turkey Point waterfront day use area. Anna is thought to have been killed between April and July 2017. Anna was 5'6", weighed about 120 pounds, brown hair and hazel eyes, and at times wore gold framed glasses. Also looks like she tended to maybe dye her hair a little bit and do her makeup a little differently from time to time. KBI investigators ask anyone who knew Anna in late 2016 or 2017, or who may have information related to her death, to please call 1-800-572-7463. Callers may remain anonymous. And I'm reading the playing card down there, said that she had been shot, and her black and white pit bull that was normally with her was missing as well, according to the playing card down there.
Yeah. I asked AI about it. It said that I don't know if this is true or not. It says that it was reported that it was kind of normal for her to kind of go off grid, not for super long, but go off grid every once in a while for a little bit. So it said that was there like a because this was remains found basically. So like it was one of those situations where like the flyer came after, like, it's like maybe Anna was the type of person that kind of, I was like that throughout all of my 20s. You kind of just you pick up and go and you go do something else, like maybe she kind of bounced around a little bit with where she lived and everything. So her not being able to contact her for a few weeks or a month wouldn't necessarily set off alarms.
Right.
You would be like, oh, because like my family just kind of was like, oh, Derek's somewhere, I'm sure he's fine. So that's kind of, that's always bad when you find there's remains, and then if you have a missing person and you're like you and I aren't related to Kenny, but we knew he was missing, and when we found out about that skull, we had many conversations about, well, I wonder if it's Kenny, like for that resolution. But anytime you hear about remains found out, you look up cases and you wonder who. But if you're her family, you hear there's remains found, and then you don't even think to associate it to some, you just. Like, I'm sure they didn't even know she was like, in trouble. They probably thought she was just doing her thing, living her life.
I was sitting there reading a comment from Mark Baldwin. It says 2 bullets in the back of her head, and execution style murder, thrown in the woods at Eisenhower State Park, left to rot. Any help from the group is appreciated. Her kids deserve justice for their mother. And he follows up, thank you, man. You are very welcome, Mark.
Yeah. That's what a horrible way to find out your loved one's missing, Like, that's just awful. It's like an extra layer of just yikes. That's not a good. That's not, and you know, she has kids and stuff. You know, it's just that's not a good call to get. That
Yeah. Missing
not
and
only is
eventually
your
find
loved
out.
one missing, but they're passed. You know.
Yeah, find out that she's been violently taken from the family. Mark says she was homeless and left me with her children. I hadn't seen her in 10 years. Oh, wow.
See, that's just like that. What a you know you. That's just awful. You don't want to find. You know.
That's terrible.
Heart goes out to you and your family.
Hey, could you-
Hopefully, somebody has some
yeah,
information because that's obviously
yeah.
that's not good.
Here's the big question in my mind. Who could have been so mad at her or,
Yeah.
whatever that they would have done this to her? What would have been their motive or reason behind it? That's
Yeah.
just insane.
Yeah.
Just insane.
Yeah. Don't like that. I don't like that at all. Catherine Alcock's missing a
Yeah,
year. No, yeah, 2 years.
yeah. Yeah. Catherine Alcock's missing from Coffeyville, Kansas since December 31st, 2023. 51 she went missing, now 51. 5'2", 135 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. It's believed that she may have went to the Cushing, Oklahoma area. Last contact Catherine had with her family was on or about December 31st, 2023. And she was 50 when she went missing. She's now 51. She is 5'2", weighs 135 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Catherine's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, or you had contact with Catherine after December 31st, 2023, please call the Coffeyville, Kansas Police Department at 620-252-6160 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Catherine located and back to where she needs to be.
Coffeyville isn't very big, is it?
No, it's pretty small. And Mark was saying KBI came
8,500.
knocking on the door. Oh, wow. Mark was saying KBI came knocking on the door for DNA in 2018. I hear after she was found.
Wow.
Or 1 year after she was found.
Wow.
Yeah.
Coffeyville, 8,500 roughly population.
Yeah, it's pretty small. I mean, not small, but not, I mean, compared to Salina, compared where I'm at, where it's like just under 50,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always curious, like when somebody goes missing, like, I feel like the smaller the town, the bigger of a story it is, at least locally there.
Yeah. And Mark is saying any information from anyone, please feel free to contact them as well. Yeah. Yep. This is one I just did. Was it yesterday or day before? Patrick Krim, missing from Jefferson County, Kansas since August 30th, 2025. 34 years old, 6'1", 274 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. Patrick was last seen at the Abate Bike Rally at 9:45 p.m. on Saturday, August 30th. He was seen leaving the rally on foot. He does not have a vehicle, and his cell phone is now either turned off or dead. And he's 34, 6'1", 274 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. He has a tattoo of 4 claws that look like they're coming through the skin that says "Her Beast" under the claws on the back of his right calf, and he has a tattoo of his son's baby footprints, birth date, and name on his chest. There's pictures of him down there. If you have any information regarding Patrick's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please contact the Jefferson County, Kansas Sheriff's Office, 785-863-2765, or the KBI at 785-296-4017. See what we can do to get Patrick located and back to where he needs to be. Online, they're also, it's interesting because online they're also showing his last name as being Anno Jr., but it's listed on KBI and on the Jefferson County website as Krim. So, yeah. And Raylan, are you referring to Patrick Krim, saying this is not like him at all? And this is another one I just did yesterday. James Cole, I did yesterday morning before I went to work, actually. Missing from Harrington, Kansas since August 31st, 2025. He's 24, 5'11", 140 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. Last known to be driving a 1999 silver Ford F-150 pickup. Pictured below there. And he's 24, 5'11", weighs 140 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. I know they've had scent dogs out trying to track a scent. I'm trying to get other search parties organized. I'll have to see if there's any updates. But if you have any information regarding James's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Harrington, Kansas Police Department at 785-258-2226 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to help get James located and back to his family. Look on it. There's been some folks who've been real good about putting updates in the comments to his flyer. I'm going to take a real quick peek and see what I'm seeing here. I'm going to see if there's anything updating. Nothing new. Okay. I'm just curious if they had posted anything new in the comments, and so far, no. So let's see what we can do to help get him located. They did say, I know one update I saw said that his truck was located, abandoned, and that's why they brought out the scent dogs, was to try to track his scent from his truck, and they tracked it for a while, and apparently one comment said the dogs had gotten tired, and so it got to a certain point and stopped. So
This is a newer one too.
Yep, newer one as well. Crystal Collade. I guess it's Collade. I hope I said that correctly. Missing from Mays, Kansas since August 21st, 2025. She's 39, 5'1", 200 pounds, brown hair, green eyes. She was last seen in Wichita, Kansas. Her gray 2014 Kia is also missing, pictured above. And she's 39, 5'1", 200 pounds, brown hair, green eyes. She has a tattoo on each wrist. One is a flower and the other is an unknown word. She also has a tattoo on her calf on the left side, possibly a tribal tattoo. If you have any information regarding Crystal's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Mays, Kansas Police Department at 316-722-1433 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Crystal located and back to where she needs to be. Okay, Raylan says yes, Patrick Crimm's family. Well, hopefully Patrick will be found soon and safe.
Yeah.
And James Bettles, decided to get him in there tonight. We haven't covered him in a very, very long time, so I thought let's work him back in tonight.
I remember
Stephen James Bettles. It's an unsolved homicide from September 15th, 2009 in eastern Saline County. He was found dead from a gunshot wound shortly after 5 p.m. on September 15th, 2009 by members of his family who were checking on his welfare. Stephen's body was found in a house trailer behind the main house on his property at 9041 East Shipton Road near Interstate 70, just west of the town of Solomon in eastern Saline County. Stephen, who had been employed as an over-the-road truck driver for Great Plains Trucking, is believed to have been killed 2 days before his body was found. When he failed to show up for work on September 15th, his employer became concerned and contacted his family, who found him the same day. No other details have been released in Stephen's murder, and no arrests have been made. Anyone with information regarding the murder of Stephen James Bettles is asked to contact the Saline County Sheriff's Office at 785-826-6500 or the Saline County Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477. And let's see what we can do to get some justice for Stephen and his family and friends. Man, this is another one we haven't done in quite a long time.
You took me by this crime scene, right?
Yeah. It's now a contracting business that his family still. It was a nightclub, and it was renovated and is now being used by his family as their offices for their contracting business. But yeah, this is Tom Young. He was reported missing by his family on Monday, July 11th, 1977. Thomas was the owner-operator of the Lift Tavern, 150 South Broadway. An employee of the Lift reported walking out of the business with Thomas on July 10th, 1977 at about 12:45 a.m. The employee then observed Thomas walk back into the business. The same employee returned to work on July 7, 1977. Thomas's vehicle, a 1977 white Chevy Corvette, was still in the parking lot and the business was secured. Thomas's body was discovered on July 12, 1977 in the Raggedy Ann Tavern at 260 Smithers. The tavern was owned by Thomas and was in the process of being remodeled. The cause of death was listed as homicide. A message from the family of Thomas Young. We would like to ask the public to please come forward with information that may have in regards to our dad, brother, husband, friend. It's probably been more than 41 years. I think I need to update that. And closure for everyone would be satisfying. The way a case was handled all those years ago was so different than in today's time due to new technologies and procedures. We're asking for any assistance that may give us closure we're looking for. The message was released in 2018. So yeah, it's about 7 years old. It's about 48 years ago now. Anyone with information concerning the homicide of Thomas Young is asked to call the Salina Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the Salina-Saline County Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477. Tips can also be sent via text message by texting SA Tips to crimes 274-637, or you can go to www.pd.salina.org and click on the Crime Stoppers link. You may receive a cash reward up to $1,000. You're not required to give your name. Or you can call the KBI 1-800-572-7463 and see what we can do to get justice for Thomas and his family and his friends. And the interesting thing about it is his brother, that's the contractor. I see him in my job quite frequently, just about every other day or so he's in there. So I see him a lot.
Yeah.
I did talk to him once, told him who I was and what I was doing. He really didn't say much, so I didn't want to take a printed copy of this flyer in with me to work and show it to him sometime.
Yeah. Pretty wild. A long time ago, though. All right, we're going to be right back after this. You're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved. We got some more cases to cover.
All right. Hey, I see Ryan Highsong's in the house. He's a buddy of mine from here in town. I want to thank you, Ryan, for sharing the GoFundMe out on your Facebook. I appreciate it. Just I'll throw that out there real quick. This is Ethan Keith. He's missing from Wichita, Kansas since May 10th of this year. He's 16. He's 5'7", weighs between 150 and 160 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. He does have some serious mental health concerns and is currently without his medication. It's believed that Ethan may be in the Kansas City, Missouri area. He also has ties to the Wichita, Kansas, Fort Scott, Kansas, Odessa, Missouri, Independence, Missouri, and Warrensburg, Missouri areas. And he's 16, he's 5'7", weighs between 150 and 160 pounds, has brown hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Ethan's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9254 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And do want to mention real quick, the one phone number, the 316-263-6011, is actually the Wichita 911 number for outside of the Wichita area. So if you do see him anywhere outside of Wichita, call that 316-263-6011 and you will get Wichita 911. All right, and Caden Kukin, we've covered him before, and I was asked to share him again. So here's Caden Kukin, Wichita, Kansas. He's missing from since July 24th of this year. He's 17, he's 5'10", 150 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. Don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Caden's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9254 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Caden located and back to where he needs to be. Not too awful long ago, I added the picture of Caden on the right with that blue hat on there. And the only picture I've been able to get a hold of where he's kind of at least kind of halfway grinning and not looking like he's mad at the world.
Yeah.
But let's see what we can do to get him found and back to where he needs to be.
School just started, so
Yeah.
gotta go to school.
Yep. And another one I was asked to reshare. Alexander Smith, again, missing from Wichita, Kansas since July 6th of this year. She's 16, 5'3", 103 pounds, brown hair that was last known to be dyed black and blue eyes. Family member found Alexander's bedroom window was left open and she was gone. She does have some serious medical conditions and some mental health concerns and is without any of her medication for these. And she's 16, 5'3", 103 pounds, brown hair that was last known to be dyed black and blue eyes. She does have nose ring piercings in each nostril. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9254 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Alexandra located and back to where she needs to be. Very sharp contrast in the photos. The left, little to no makeup at all, and the right, makeup. So very sharp contrast in the two pictures. I prefer those kinds of photos with females to show, a natural look and a made-up look to kind of give people an idea what they look like both ways, so they know what to be on the lookout for.
I think a lot of times too, like even me, like you think of these flyers and you're like, oh, if I see that person in public, but I mean, you might see somebody using this picture online, like that, who knows, like it's really good to have the picture of, who you're trying to look for. I do think it's important too to have one where they look like what they look like on Earth and then what they look like online. I think it's both are important,
Right. Yes, Bria Ingram. We've covered her in the past before, but she is missing again. And she's missing from Topeka, Kansas since August 28th of 2025. She's 17 years old, 5'6", weighs between 140 and 145 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed black, and she has blue eyes. Don't have much more than that, aside from she does have a nose ring in the right side of her nose there. And if you have any information regarding Bria's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Bria located and back to where she needs to be. Gone Missing says shared. Thank you. Gone Missing. Greatly appreciate all the shares. And this is another one we haven't covered in a long, long time. And I just asked today to make a new flyer for. And I'm hoping I'm saying this right. Kmu Vita. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. If I didn't, I apologize. But she's missing from Topeka, Kansas since June 2nd, 2025. And she's 17, 5'6", 130 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Don't have much more than that. If you have any information regarding Kmu's disappearance, so you know her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see what we can do to get Kmu located and back to where she needs to be.
Rodney Cox in the house. Loving it.
Yeah. Hey, Rodney, how you doing?
All right, we got one more segment. You're watching KMU. Be right back after this.
All right, give me just a second. So I did not get her flyer pulled, but I will get it pulled here in just a second. Okay. Thought I had everything pulled. Thought I was on top of it tonight. Guess I was wrong.
You tried your best.
Okay, this is Dana Bruce, missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th, 2008. She was 23 when she was missing. She would now be 40. She's 5'2", 98 pounds, brown hair, green or hazel eyes. She was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia. She left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. Dana was seen at Malone's bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with that man at 11:30 p.m. Police have identified the man that Dana was with on that night. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Dana after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and her toothbrush. She does not have any credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. Again, she was 23 when she went missing. She would now be 40. She's 5'2", weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots and black at the ends with red highlights and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. Dana has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced one time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422, or you can call Private Investigator Leslie at 910-427-0070 and see what we can do to help get Dana located and back to her family. I know they're wanting her home very badly and are doing everything they can to help make that happen. So let's see what we can do to help make that happen as well. Thank you, Ryan. He said I said VTOL correct.
Nice.
Man, hey, Helen
Usually
Smith, how
pretty
you
good
doing?
with names.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes from my days as a telemarketer. I worked real hard on trying to get names pronounced right. So, okay. And this one, way over here. This one is Sabrina Shepard I hope it's Conradi or Conradi. I'm not 100% sure. Missing from Independence, Missouri since June 1st, 2025. She's 38. She's 5'3", weighs 108 pounds, brown hair, hazel green eyes. She was last seen about a month and a half ago when her car, a silver Chevrolet Impala with Missouri license plate XF8B3R, was stolen. Her car has not yet been recovered. Now, again, Sabrina's 38 years old. She's 5'3", weighs 108 pounds. She has brown hair and hazel green eyes. She also has a lip piercing under the left side of her bottom lip. You can see it on that far left-hand photo there. She has a love-hate tattoo on her arm, a Playboy bunny tattoo behind her ear, and a shooting star on her wrist, and a Big Sister tattoo on her wrist. If you have any information regarding Sabrina's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Independence, Missouri Police Department at 816-325-7300 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422 and see what we can do to help get Sabrina located and back to where she needs to be. And down there at the bottom, you can see a front shot of the Impala with the license plate, and then I blew the license plate up so it's a little bit more visible that way so you can get a better idea. But if anybody sees her car, if you see the car, call it in.
Yeah.
Because they may be connected. You never know. Helen, you're more than welcome to post the GoFundMe here.
Yeah, that finding the car would be paramount.
Yeah.
You can get an idea of what she's what she's left in the car if she's not with the car, like
right.
You get an update of what you think, Plus, wherever the car's found, that there's a good chance she was there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to cover Lachey's flyer, and then I'm going to get into a little bit more information that I don't have on the flyer. But this is Lachey Stein, missing from Aurora, Colorado since July 15, 2016. 16 when she was missing. She's now 25, 5'6", 145 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Lachey was last seen on surveillance video near a bus stop in the 1600 block of North Peoria Street at 2:23 in the morning. It's believed she left her home at that time to meet someone, but never returned home. Information indicates that Lachey may have been seen in the Kansas City, Missouri area and in the states of Kansas, New Mexico, and Arizona. The photo on the far right was the last known photo taken of Lachey, and her hair was styled that way in that photo back in 2016. Don't know if it'd still be that way or not. She does have a quarter-size scar on her chest. Other information that I had found earlier today doing some research was that she had left her clothes, wallet, money, phone charger, and other belongings behind. She has no history of running away from home or getting into trouble, and she did disappear the day before a job interview. Her family does believe she was abducted by human traffickers. There have been sightings of her reported in the Colfax Avenue area of Aurora. Witnesses stated that the girl resembling Lachey was seen being kept drugged and was forced into prostitution. She was an honors student at George Washington High School at the time of her disappearance. She dreamed of becoming a nurse, had gotten an internship at the University of Colorado Hospital. She is considered to be in danger, and her case is still unsolved. If you do have any information on her case at all, hang on just a second here. My computer being fruity on me here. Or you know where she's at, call Detective Chris Pop with the Aurora, Colorado Police Department at 303-739-6130, or you can call the Metro Denver Crime Stoppers at 720-913-7867 and see what we can do to help get Lachey located and back home to her family. It's been 9 years already. So let's see what we can do to help her get her found. Thank you, Ellen.
Aurora's like a suburb of like the Denver area, right?
Right. That's why I have the Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. So I researched that to see which Crime Stoppers would cover that, and it come up being the Metro Denver. So
I'm not super familiar with the Denver, how Denver works. I've been there a bunch, but
I don't know.
I know that you go from being in one town to the next, just like that's how Phoenix was too, you know. But I usually went to Denver for like concerts or to like a Rockies game or something. So it was pretty much just go to the place you needed to go and then, you know, go to the event and then just go home.
Yeah.
It'd be a scary place to be missing at 16.
Right. I have seen a clip of the surveillance video which shows her walking down the street at 2:23 in the morning. The morning that she went missing, it didn't show her walking up to any vehicles or being approached by anybody. Just showed her walking down the street. So
yeah, I think it's a lady just walking down the street. You're looking for trouble because there are just weird dudes out there that are willing to approach any lady and say any disgusting thing and proposition them with anything. And I mean, I see it happen here, you know, anywhere you see like these dudes that are, I don't know, like I can just say this, I don't know Lachey, but if she was 16, her being on any road in the middle of the night without somebody that cares about her, and then there's just weirdo dudes out there, like God help her, because there's just there's so many weird dudes that would see that as an opportunity. It's just weird being the word. I just that scares the hell out of me. You know, a 16-year-old girl walking down the road in the middle of the night. That's not good.
Right. Hey, Brina Wilson, how you doing? And Ryan Highsong is saying Denver is split in crazy directions.
That was my situation. Like, it was just that, like, I think Denver's cool. I don't have an issue with Denver, but it seemed like I couldn't, all the times I've been, I could never tell where one little town like Aurora, Littleton, I could never tell where they started or ended. You know, I was like, "Are we in Denver?" They're like, "Actually, we're in, this part of Denver." It's just it's I think the main issue is it's big, and you have Rocky Mountains and stuff right there. So it's just somebody like me who grew up in Kansas. It's very daunting to go to Denver, and I'm just glad I get to where I'm going and get home safe. As far as understanding that place, that's a really big area. It's a lot going on. It's cool though. I like it.
Yeah. I've only been to Denver once, and I was 16 at the time. And the thing that freaked me out is we were going down this highway, and like a runway goes right over this highway, and this jet was coming in down to land right over and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I was kind of
yeah,
freaking out a little bit.
yeah. I've
I
driven through
was
the
16 and
Appalachian
never been
Mountains.
there before.
I've driven through the Appalachian Mountains a bunch. And there's some times where you get kind of freaked out, but the Rockies are no joke, man. That's a whole experience being out there where all those mountains are. And yeah, Denver's just a very high. There's a lot of people there. It's very highly populated. It's a cool place. There's lots of nice areas. There's lots of culture. There's lots of bands and comedian. A lot of people will go through Denver. It's a major city. It's a big city. So it was always I never really understood where I was. I always had fun, but I never knew where I was.
Right. I think we have one more, I think.
Are you sure? I thought that was it.
No, I think there should be one more.
No, that's the last one, sir.
Oh, well, I meant to put one more in there.
Well, go for it. We have a few
Okay.
minutes.
Let me throw it in there. There we go. Now it's in there.
Okay.
Thought I had one more on there. It was one we haven't covered for a long while. Linda Dillard Kleinbell, missing from Table Rock, Nebraska on June 16th, 2021. She was 55 when she was missing. She's now 59, 5 foot tall, 130 pounds. Brown hair that was dyed possibly blonde, or she may was I think wearing a wig, actually, is what I've seen. Linda sometimes walks with a cane and has a medical condition that makes it difficult for her to walk long distance. I found out it was hip dysplasia is what it is. She was last believed to be on foot and is missing under suspicious circumstances. Linda does have ties to Hiawatha, Kansas area. Again, she was 55 when she was missing. She would now be 59. She is 5 foot tall, weighs 130 pounds, brown hair that was possibly dyed blonde, or wearing a white and purple wig and blue eyes. Linda was believed to be wearing a white tank top, jean shorts, and brown sandal boots as part of the investigation. Nebraska State Police has recovered those clothes and have learned that Dillard was last seen wearing a different outfit. Investigators now believe that she was wearing a black T-shirt, black DKNY boxer brief shorts, and brown Birkenstock-type sandals. She has multiple tattoos, including Heaven's Door under her chin, 2 dark wings with a caricature of a person on her chest, 2 Derringer pistols on her abdomen, wings with the initials DCD on her lower back, and either December 18, 2008 or December 15, 2008 on the back of her neck, the word Lakita on one of her arms, and a flower on one of her wrists. And again, I did some digging today on her case and found that she was actually at a party on this place. It's considered a commune. And let's see, what was it called here? There was a particular name for this particular kind of a commune, but free roaming commune. There it is. It's on the north edge of a 400-acre Table Rock wildlife management area. Her clothes were found, which of course we covered that, and her wig was found in a bathroom, I found out. And then I mentioned her hip dysplasia, and her family doubts that she'd be able to leave on foot. They also think she wouldn't leave her wig behind. They tried to ping her phone, but it was either dead or turned off. It's believed that she was last seen by 4 people. Members of the group she partied with last, all of them gave contradicting statements. One of them was caught on camera as they were using Linda's Cash App in Humboldt the weekend that she disappeared. Another member, a woman who lived in a nearby camper, allegedly told someone that she helped with hiding a body. She was arrested on unrelated charges. The farm owner himself was facing drug charges as the search of the farm turned up meth, ketamine, and carisoprodol. a type of muscle relaxant. I don't think I said that right. While surveillance was being conducted before showing the warrant on the 22nd of July, the police have registered a Ford Expedition backing up to the home with a woman taking out cleaning supplies and rags. Later on, she and a man who lived on the property were seen loading a piece of carpet into the car before it was driven to a home in Schubert. After the warrant was obtained, police seized 2 rugs from the home. Rolanda Johnson, who was on the property at the time of the search, was later charged in August with a certificate of title violations for having fraudulent bills of sale for an Isuzu Rodeo and a Nissan Maxima and a Ford F-150. On the 25th of March of 2022, a 3-day-long search took place carried out by Nebraska State Patrol, but it didn't unearth any remains. The team searched more than 1,100 acres of land in and around the Table Rock State Wildlife Management Area, 24 miles of roadside ditches, 1.5 miles of river, 2 local farms, and the local lake area. The search team consisted of 44 law enforcement officers, 65 volunteers and support personnel, 15 mounted patrol teams, and 8 dog teams trained to search for human remains detection. On the 5th of February 2023, James Money had been sentenced to 2 years in prison and 1.5 years of post-release supervision for possession during the initial search of his property. Police believe that she may have been a victim of theft, assault, kidnapping, and or murder. It's just a sad deal. I mean, I don't know. She was claiming at some point that she was assaulted, and one theory was that she was killed to keep her from talking on that. So I don't know, but if anybody does have any information on her disappearance or you know where she's at, call the Richardson County, Nebraska Sheriff's Office at 402-245-2479 or the Pawnee County, Nebraska Sheriff's Office at 402-852-2969 or by calling the Nebraska Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-1494 or go to the Nebraska Crime Stoppers website or the P3 Tips mobile app and see what we can do to help get Linda located and back home to her family where she belongs.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. Apparently she was known to do some drugs herself. I guess her drug of choice was meth. So, yeah. But even still, she deserves to be found and returned to her family.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's no...
whenever
I would talk about some cases and people would be like, well, you know such and such about him. I'm like, yeah, I didn't deserve to be whatever happened to him. Like, there, no human being is judge and jury and executioner on a situation of a life choice somebody made. Everybody deserves to go home. I was going to ask you, have you been following, and I don't even know if there is a story. I've been getting a lot of messages from people, which is fine. I do look in when people message me true crime stuff locally. I do look into it, but
right.
London Valdez, have you heard anything credible, like from family or law enforcement, that there's anything that's like, should there be a suspicious death flyer, or is law enforcement and family basically saying that there's really not enough information to make that assumption, I guess?
I haven't looked at her mom's Facebook recently, but I mean, I have seen a couple of posts that she's put out there, and I mean, she's pretty adamant that there are folks that know what happened, that need to speak up, that haven't spoke up, that were with her at the time that she went missing and stuff. So, I mean, I haven't seen anything conclusively as far as what the cause of death or anything is, anything like that. I've been waiting.
Somebody sent me a YouTube video. I guess some YouTube channel. I didn't watch it yet, but somebody sent me a YouTube channel. I guess talked about it, and it sounded like they were. I haven't watched it yet, but from the message I got, it sounded like the YouTube video kind of was being sort of speculative, which is fine. Right. That's what we are as humans. But the speculations were pretty, I was like, oh, that's kind of wild. So I just basically went and did like a deep dive to see if there was any, and I've seen some of the stuff that her mom's posted, and I think it's great that her mom's posting and using her voice. But I haven't found anything from like law enforcement that would even that I can't find anything that's saying they're like even really like suspicious. I'm just talking about just law enforcement, not like anybody else. But I haven't seen like any official statement from Valdez is from Hooker, and she was found deceased near Fort Supply, Oklahoma, I
Hmm.
believe, if I remember correctly. Um, but
Well,
I don't.
should
I
be.
think they're still waiting for like an autopsy to get like an official, cause of death and everything. But I was just curious if you had heard anything because I have been getting a lot of messages from locals around here because Hooker's not far from where I'm at. 20, 30 minutes. I've been getting a lot of messages from locals being like, "Hey, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything?" And I
Well, her
have
mom
not.
does have a video posted from YouTube. Hmm. Her mom has a video link posted to a YouTube video that's apparently an interview that her mom did with Joe Schmo. The
Yeah,
details
I
emerged
thought.
with preliminary medical examiner's report. London Valdez. I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it too. It was sent to me. I've been really busy. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I was just gonna see if you knew anything. And yeah, I was just curious because I haven't heard anything other than I have seen the Facebook post from her mother, but
Yeah,
I have
I'll have to
not
watch
seen
that.
anything like from the news or anything or the police that I could find.
Yeah,
Which doesn't mean
Valdez was.
anything.
Yeah, Valdez was. She had gone missing. I can't remember the town in Oklahoma she went missing from now, but
She went missing in Hooker, and I believe she was
okay,
found in
Oklahoma.
Forgan,
Yeah.
southwest of Forgan in Beaver County.
Okay.
She was found on June 7th.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then she had been seen with two men whose vehicle was later found abandoned in Fort Supply. So I guess my thing is I was going to ask you if you were going to do a flyer for her but I didn't know what it. Again, just because I haven't found anything from the police stating their foul play doesn't necessarily mean that that's not the case. I could see the police not saying
Right.
anything while they collect, wait for the autopsy, get as much interviews, get information. It's very easy to look at police and be like, they're not doing anything. It's like you don't know that they might be doing a lot, but they're not going to tell you about it. Random person on the street, like they're not going to tell
Right.
you. Like why would they go tell you? I don't run everything. So no, I'm just curious. I can't tell if it's going to heat up to be like a situation where you do make a flyer and try to get the public's information, or if that's not the case at all and it's just a local rumor mill. I don't know.
Right. I did have a missing persons flyer up for her when she was missing. If I can find out whether they think it's suspicious or foul
Yeah.
play or whatever, I'll make a flyer accordingly. But I need to find out definitively what they're saying.
I just
So,
wanted to ask you because it's been coming up a lot in my inbox, and I'm like, I don't think this is one of those that's just gonna like fade off into oh, that happened. Like I think a lot of people, family, and even the people that are messaging me are not related to this girl. They're just people who are hey, do this, and this rumor, but people are really talking about this case here locally. So I was just curious.
and I don't see anybody or any like news links with any updates on Google either. So,
No, I could not find anything that was like quote unquote official. But again, that doesn't mean anything.
I have to agree with Rodney. An odd name to choose to name a town, Hooker.
Yeah, there's when Jay Leno was so she was found in Beaver County. There's a town called Beaver, really close, 30, 40 minutes, I think. So Jay Leno on his headlines back in the 90s posted I forget what it was, but it was like Beaver beats Hooker or Hooker beats Beaver. It was like a basketball headline, but Jay Leno read it like, what the heck are these towns? Yeah, they're really close to each other, Hooker and Beaver. And I'm sure somebody with a name like Rodney Cox loves those names. So let's just be honest here. We do got to get out of here though, man. But great show.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody. It was a good show. I want to thank everybody for joining us and hanging out with us to go over these cases like we do every week. And hopefully, in my absence, when I have surgery in October, the show will continue to go on till I can come
Yeah.
back. I'm planning on trying, depending on how things go in the hospital, to even try to maybe even start working on flyers while I'm in the hospital still. So we'll see how that goes. That's planning on trying to do that. I have my laptop and stuff, so
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Make sure you get cleaned up, man. Like you don't want to be
Yeah.
out post-op and touching your laptop and it's have all it's just all your you drink milk all the time. I've seen
Oh
you
yeah.
snack at your desk. There's probably some
Oh
Cheeto
yeah.
puff dust on that thing. Get it cleaned up so you don't mess up your wounds, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I'm gonna have a nice They tell me right down the center of my chest along my sternum, I'll have a nice incision going on down there.
Yeah. Chicks will dig it, but it's gonna feel weird for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I just been told a lot of things over the last since I had found out I've been having this surgery, having to have it done, and I've been told a lot of things, and I'm just like, oh boy, not making me feel any better. But it's got to be
Yeah.
done, and so I'm just hoping I come out of it a lot better with a lot better heart. So,
I think you
with
have
that being said,
time on your side, man. I think you're in 2025. They know what they're doing really,
yeah,
really well.
oh yeah,
Uh, I think you're gonna be you'll be back. But yeah, you can go ahead and get us out of here. But yeah,
yeah,
I'm here for you, man. I think everybody's pulling for you, and we fully expect you to get back to work as soon as possible on those flyers.
yeah. I just want to say thank you again to everybody that's shared the GoFundMe, donated to the GoFundMe, that's planning on donating to the GoFundMe. It's all greatly appreciated. And I just want to mention again too, September 9th, 5 to 8, the Spangles at 2630 South 9th Street here in Salina. We're doing a fundraiser out there. They were telling me 20% of all sales between 5 and 8 will be donated to me. We'll have a donation jar at the counter and at the drive-through. So come out for that. I have to work that night. I'm going to try to get over there on my lunch break right around the time that it starts and hang out for a bit. I don't think I'll be able to hang out the whole 3 hours. I don't think my boss would go for that, but I'll be there for a little while. So come by and say hi and stuff. So then I'm just going to say, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together so we can go over these cases and these missing persons, these unsolved homicides. Try to get some missing people found and some people held responsible for some of these unsolved homicides. I just need the people that have information to step up and do the right thing and call it in and, get that burden off their chest that they've been carrying around for all these years and talk about what they know. Just really need them to do the right thing. And just want to say to everybody, have a good night. God bless. Stay safe. And amen.